Hi buddy, hope you're well. Who or what do you think is filming me right now? And despite however fast I try and run away, I can't escape it. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, well, I'm gonna fall over. It's a flying camera. So, let's crack on. Now, I am very lucky that doing the job that I do and having this YouTube channel means that I often get companies or brands contacting me asking if I would like to review their products. And full transparency, they often will send you out products completely for free. If that happens with me, I will always tell you that. Oftentimes, I won't even bother replying to many of these companies, to be honest, because what they are offering either just doesn't interest me at all, or it's just completely naff. The other day, for example, I was offered a magnetic chessboard. Now, I do enjoy playing chess, but I've never needed a magnetic chessboard. Not played chess in space yet, maybe one day.
Checkmate, my friend.
But every now and again, I will get offered a product that I think, ooh, this sounds cool. And this video is about one of those products, because in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the HOVERAir X1. Now, when I was first contacted by HOVERAir, I was like, there's no way that this can do what it is they're saying, because they were saying it's a flying camera, it's small, it's light, it tracks you really, really well, and it doesn't need a controller or a phone. It will just take off on its own from the palm of your hand. So this was something that I thought I'm very, very interested in. So in today's video, I'm gonna be taking a look at it for the first time. This is the first day that I've used it, and I'm gonna let you know my thoughts. But before we get into this, sorry, I'm still out of breath from the intro. Before we get into this video proper, let's have a look at what is in the box. I was very kindly sent the HOVERAir X1 combo pack, which consists of 2 batteries, a USB charging hub for those 2 batteries, information about the HOVERAir and a quick start guide, a bag, a USB cable, and of course the HOVERAir X1 itself. The HOVERAir is available in 2 colours, white and black. Now, the first thing you notice when you get the HOVERAir out of the box is just how small it is. It truly is pocket size, as I will demonstrate now. Just stand up. There you go, in the pocket, out of the pocket. I also love how it doesn't have any protruding blades as well, so it does feel very sturdy when you do have it in your pocket. Now, inevitably, people are going to compare this to a drone, but I think it's important not to do that. See this as being a completely separate tool, whereas a drone will fly far away from you and capture video from long ranges. This won't do that. However, what this will offer you instead is a truly portable and tiny camera that does fit in your pocket, as you've just seen. It takes off from your hand and it can be recording you in just a few seconds. It also doesn't need any form of external controller or a phone in order to use it. All you need in order to use the HOVERAir is the HOVERAir itself. So rather than seeing this as a drone, see it as a portable flying selfie camera, something like that, that can be with you all the time and is really quick and easy to use. Out of the box, the HOVERAir has 6 different modes, and you can cycle through them by pressing this button here. We'll just do that now.
Hover.
In hover mode, the HOVERAir will stay in the same place and track you wherever you go, even if you go underneath it.
Zoom out.
In zoom out mode, the HOVERAir will fly out in front of you and then return back automatically to where it started.
Follow.
In follow mode, the HOVERAir will stay behind you and track you wherever you go, even if you're going through a gate. It's like having a camera crew following you around. I also love how this mode makes you look a little bit like you're playing Grand Theft Auto. Oh, and even if you try and run away from the HOVERAir, you won't be able to. It tracks you so well.
Orbit.
I will show you orbit mode in a second.
Bird eye.
In bird eye mode, the HOVERAir will fly directly above you and film from above, and you can also set it to rotate as it's doing this.
Custom. Dolly track.
Dolly track is my favourite setting, and it's the mode that I am sure I will use the most in the future. With Dolly Track, the HOVERAir will track you from the front. This is the mode that I used for the intro to this video. I can also see within the app that there are more modes available, but I'm not able to access them at the moment because you have to have completed a certain number of flights in order to open up the new modes, which I think is a really good idea because it means that you have to have experience of using the HOVERAir before you can access the more advanced features. Videos and photographs are stored on the HOVERAir's 32 gig internal memory, and to download the footage you simply open the app and download them to your phone. But remember, you don't need your phone in order to use this, you just have to have the app to download the footage from. You can also change some of the default settings of the different modes that you see here from the app. Another really cool feature of the HOVERAir X1 is that it can shoot vertically too, so it's really great for stories, reels, TikToks, all that stuff. And it also can take still photographs. So I'm going to pass you back to me now in the cold and the mud to look at some of the other features which this offers. Now, my favourite feature of this, and the one that I'm most excited about, is the tracking feature. And that is what I can see myself using the most in the future. So what I want to do now is time how long it takes me to take the HOVERAir out of my pocket and get it into the air and tracking me. Okay, let's start the timer. So open it up, turn it on. Remember, I am not using here my phone. I'm just taking it out of my pocket. And the great thing is, it takes off from my hand. Here it goes. I love this. I'm not sure how long that was, but it didn't seem long at all. And as you can see, I'm just walking about now, and it's filming me. And the tracking mode is so good. Now, it looks like the drone is wobbling a little bit in the air, but I'm sure that when you see this video from the HOVERAir, it won't be doing that. Wherever I go, as you saw in the intro, it tracks me. Now, this is going to be so good for B-roll. And what I'm going to show you next is an amazing feature. To land the HOVERAir, I simply put my hand out, and as if by magic, it comes to me like an amazing pet. Now, one of the questions that I had about the HOVERAir before I actually had received it was, if I want to use this to talk into the camera and for it to record my audio, how am I going to do that? Because as this HOVERAir is going to be relatively close to me, surely the mic is going to pick up the wheezing, horrible noise of, I was going to say the drone then. Remember, this is not a drone, it's a flying camera. So that's going to really spoil the audio. But somehow, HOVERAir have come up with a really clever solution for that. So to show you that, I'm now in a different mode. I'm in zoom out, you can see here. I'm going to press record, put it in my hand. It's now going to take off and fly 9 meters away. And as it does that, you're going to hear the noise of it in this mic here. So it should now go away for 9 meters, there it goes. But the cool thing is, if I now talk into my phone, you won't hear the noise of the drone, which is amazing. I don't know how they've managed to do this, but it's very clever. And it does mean that I can now use this to record audio at the same time. It comes back, I put my hand out, and it will just land. I love this little thing. Let's try that again, but for a little bit longer this time. So I've gone back to dolly track mode. I'm going to turn it on again. Remember, it takes off from the palm of my hand. I'm going to use the audio from this mic first of all. So you'll hear the noise of the drone. But now if I switch the audio to my phone, even though you can see the HOVERAir is pretty close to me, even if I go this close, let's see what the audio sounds like. You can be the judge as to whether this is good or not. I just love the way it's so good at tracking. It's scary good at tracking. But this is an audio test. So what does the audio sound like even when the HOVERAir is so close? Okay, let's let it land again. Put my hand underneath. There it's so cool. I love this little thing. And again, obviously we're back now to the audio from here. Next up, I'm going to try the orbit mode, which I assume means that the HOVERAir is going to just circle round me in an orbit. So let's put it on my hand again, press record.
6 meters.
It's going to go 6 meters away. Again, the audio that you're hearing at the moment is from this mic on here, because it's not started recording yet. It will start recording, I believe, when it goes 6 meters away. I can't see the red light on it yet. there is the red light. So I'm going to switch from this audio into my phone, and there you go, it's just going round me. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, I have been sent the HOVERAir X1 for free. I will always be transparent with you. However, I absolutely promise you that this is something that I would certainly consider buying myself, because for me and the content that I produce, B-roll is really important, and this is now going to allow me to get really cool B-roll very, very quickly and very, very easily. So this is something that would be right up my street. And as I said earlier in the video, the reason I said yes to doing this review video, because I don't say it very often, is because I am loving what this camera does. Just turn it around so you can see it land in my hand again. I mean, come on, this is so cool. Now, so you're aware, although you don't need the phone to use the HOVERair, you don't need it at all, what you can use the phone for is to change some of the settings. So I'm going to try a mode now called bird's eye view, which means it's going to go straight up above me and film looking down. And I've just changed that to its maximum altitude of 15 meters, I believe, in the app. Now, I don't need to use my phone to record this, so I'm going to put my phone away, but if I wanted to change the altitude, that is how I would do it. So let's now press take off again. It's going to go 15 meters above me. Tell you something else as well. This is not a technical thing what I'm going to talk about now, but this is just so much fun to use. I admit I am really into gadgets, and this is just one of the coolest toys that I've had for a long, long time. It's not even like for technical reasons, but how good is this? Oh, I have really enjoyed using the HOVERair so far. So what I'm going to do now is go home, download all the footage, have a look at it, and then give you my final thoughts. But I do want to say that I have really enjoyed using it the past couple of hours, and it's something that I'm sure I will continue to use in the future, because whereas I do love the footage that I get from my drones, do I use the drone as much as I should? No. Why is that? Just because it takes a little bit of time to get the drone out. It's a bit faffy, there's a controller that you need, it just takes all that little bit of time, and I'm very lazy if I'm being honest, whereas this is so small, so light and so easy to use, I've got no excuse not to use it, and it works really well as well. The footage that I think I've got today, I think looks really cool, especially all the tracking stuff when I'm walking, so I do think I'm going to use this, and you'll be able to tell as well, because if you watch my future videos when I'm out and about and you see a flying camera in front of me, you'll know that that is the HOVERair. So it remains to be seen how much I will use it, but I can say I have really enjoyed using it. So let's go back now, download all the footage, and let's see my final thoughts. Having now used the HOVERair for a couple of days, I am really enjoying using it. It has two massive selling points for me. The first is that, as you've seen, it truly is pocket-sized and very easy to use. I love that I don't need a separate controller or my phone in order to use it, because that is what will make me use it. It's just so quick and simple to get it out of your pocket and up into the air. The second huge benefit is that this camera tracks you like a magnet. It works really well. As you saw in the intro, it's almost impossible to shake it off. Is the HOVERair perfect? No. The video quality, although good enough, is not amazing, but to be fair, that is the compromise that you have to expect for something so small and light. Each battery will give you 11 minutes flying time on a full charge, which, although that sounds very short, is actually pretty good when you consider that you'll only be using the HOVERair for short bursts of video, and because it's never too far away from you, you don't waste battery life on setting it up, flying it off somewhere, and then needing the battery life to get it back. However, if you are going to be taking this out with you on a full day, I would definitely recommend getting a second battery. But overall, I think it's great. The fact that it's so small, so quick and easy to use, and so much fun to use as well, means that I will use it. I don't take my drone out with me as much as I should on shoots and day trips, and that is because the drone just feels a bit cumbersome, especially because you need a separate controller. But there is no excuse for me now not to have this camera with me all the time, and that is why I am sure I will use it a lot more in the future. So to finish, a huge thank you to 00 for sending me the HOVERAir. I have loved using it so far. And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. I've come out to make a review video of a really cool product that I'm really excited to show you all. It's brilliant. All I need is dry weather. Yeah, if anybody followed my story yesterday, it's happened again. These are jeans. British weather. Flippy neck.